Welcome back to Top Cut Journey. In today's video, we are going to be watching Blue-Purple Luffy versus RP Law. The person on the left-hand side is the RP Law player, my friend, and I am Blue-Purple Luffy piloting on the right-hand side. In case you guys don't know how I look, that is how I look. Now, this has been a long-awaited video. We actually recorded this last week, but I'm only able to upload it now because I didn't receive the footage until this week. Everyone's busy, so that's what happens sometimes. So I hope you guys enjoy this. This is not a OP08 deck list. This is a completely new OP11 deck list. We are playing with some proxies because he doesn't have every single card that is played in RP Law in the Japanese meta from OP08, or basically he just doesn't have some cards that you would run, such as Bond Clay and Black Maria. So he had proxies for Bond Clay and Black Maria. So I mulligan my first hand, and I take a second hand here. I am very, very happy with my second hand because I'm going second, as I lost the dice roll. Mainly because I have a very, very good curve here, and you guys will see that in a second. I will start with Duval, which allows me to look at my top three, not search, but just reorder my top three. So within my top three, I see that I have 9 Mom as well as a 2k counter. So on my 4 Dawn turn here, I will draw my 2k counter, and I will ramp to 5 Dawn, at least that's what I have in my head. And next turn, I will draw the It's to Die For in my life on my 7 Dawn turn, and I will ramp to 8 Dawn. And I have currently a 9 cost Sanji in hand, so that means I can ramp to 8 Dawn in 2 turns, and I will have a 9 cost Sanji, sorry, a 9 cost Linlin in my top deck because I know it's there because of my Duval. So he swings 7k here, and I definitely block because he can just bottom deck that very easily with his leader ability. So instead of countering out, I'd rather just block earlier on. And as I said, I'm going to ramp to 5 Dawn and swing 8k, so he should take here as expected. He plays out a Raise Max, which, again, pretty standard stuff. All he's doing is he's trying to bottom deck my characters by a power of minusing them. So let's see what he does here. And I don't know if I've introduced this already, but this guy's actually a very, very good player. So he actually, other than him being very good at RP Law, by the way, that card is a Bond Clay, and I was like, what the hell is that? But he actually wins a lot of locals at Marineford. And I want to give a quick shout out to Marineford as well, and I will probably put something on the pop-up at the very start, but they are really, really good. They have great service, and a lot of the staff there speak English really well as well. There's also a small English-speaking community there, so if you're ever in Korea, you should definitely come check out Marineford. So here I God Thread one of the Gordons, and the reason behind that is because I can use 9 Mom to remove the Bond Clay on the next turn. So that is why I played it like that instead of removing the Bond Clay. I think in hindsight it doesn't really matter too much. I can just remove the Bond Clay here and then bottom life one of the Raise Maxes, and that's still fine. So I take my first life here, and then he plays a 3 cost, sorry, not category, but 3 cost pudding and a Raise Max. So 3 cost pudding from OP08 allows you to gain 1 rested Dawn when you have any Dawn that's returned to the Dawn deck. So he minuses his, I believe, 3 Dawn for his leader effect, plays out the Reiju, which draws him 2 cards, and then uses the Sanji, sorry, I keep saying Sanji, but the pudding card to get one rested Dawn back, and he has 3 Dawn remaining. So he has currently 6 Dawn, and I have 8 Dawn, which means he has 2 less Dawn than me. This allows him to play the Sanji, which I see in hand. I believe that is what he does. This was from 1 week ago, so I don't remember exactly, but that makes the most sense based on his hand. So he does do that, and he passes turn. So a 3 cost 6k blocker, essentially, and I use my leader effect. So I search my top 5 here. So I actually ponder for a moment, and I know that I'm definitely playing out the 9 cost Linlin, but I'm considering whether or not I put the 5 cost Nami into life, giving me an extra 1k counter in life, or do I put the Red Rock in life, which allows me to bottom deck one of his characters that might be something I want to get rid of potentially, right? So I am considering here, and in hindsight, I think putting Red Rock on my life makes the most sense. Just because it removes one of his characters, and yeah, I just think it's much better. Red Rock's also not really played that much, like actually Red Rocking a character, just because RP Law is a very control heavy sort of deck that plays a lot of middle range sort of characters rather than playing stuff that have top end. So here I play, and this is a 9 cost Sanji, by the way. So 9 cost Sanji into Linlin, and I trash it's the Default plus -1 Dawn. And then here I'm considering what to remove, because essentially I know his Raise Max as well as his Bond Clay. Raise Max is really annoying, and I kind of want to get rid of him, but at the same time, Bond Clay also can swing for 9k, so it's a little bit annoying. I actually forget to heal here, but don't worry, I do remember to tell him afterwards to heal back. But I actually forgot what I was going to heal, and I remember this in game, so that was a bit of a mistake that I made, but yeah. By the way, here, in case you're wondering, this audio that you hear from the background is the audio at the locals. He minuses 6k to the Linlin, which means she is in bottom deck range. So I already know that's going to get bottom decked, and I don't really care. Well, I mean, obviously I care, but there's not much I can do about it, right? So let's see what he does now. He goes 6k leader. Now, in hindsight, I definitely, yeah. So when he swings here, I'm like, wait, shit, yeah, I didn't heal my life, right? And he's like, yeah, go ahead, bro, all good. So here in hindsight, I probably should have bottom decked a Reiju here by just not countering out. So now I think I remember what I put or something like that, and I didn't want to trigger this just because he's already swung. So there's a little bit less value if I was to bottom deck this. So he goes 6k again, multiple 6ks. I give him another 2k counter. And I think because I didn't bottom deck the Reiju there, I have to give away another 6k, which is really, really bad for me. He plays, I don't know exactly what that is, but I think it minuses 3k to my character, so then that is minus 4k or 5k, and then KO's 2k power or less. Mole Gum Gum Mole Pistol, so that KO's another character, and he's able to clear my board completely while developing a body. So I definitely was not expecting that. Mainly because I was only expecting him to be able to remove one character per turn. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. I got to play out this character, and at most he's probably going to remove one, and I'll still be able to play the game with the other one that is standing. But he had Gum Gum Mole Pistol, which allowed him to minus 5k and KO 2k power less. So that's essentially a 7k KO. He just needs 1 power minus to make it in range of all my 9k power sort of cards. Here I go 8k into leader. I think this is actually a mistake. I think I definitely should have gone 8k into the Reiju. Just because he needs to give 2k 2k 2k, which I don't know if he will be willing to give. And if he does give 2k 2k, that's really good for me. I really want to get rid of his counters in hand. And yeah, so I think that would have been better, 2k 2k, and then I play the Grav Blade, because then now he has an extra swing, which is really annoying here. So yeah, again, in hindsight, I think I definitely should have swung into the Reiju instead. But, I mean, it is what it is. I reveal it, and I bottom deck the Reiju. Again, I had to take it there, but I feel like if I played it better earlier and triggered the card earlier, I would have had a much better state. So I definitely made at least 2 mistakes so far, which is I should have triggered that earlier when they had 2 characters on board, which would bottom deck one of them, and I should have probably swung 8k into one of the what do you call it, one of the Reijus, so that I can potentially get 2k count, 4k counter out of his hand, and then bottom deck the rest of his stuff. And even if he does just take that, I can still bottom deck the rest of his stuff. And so now we both have 0 cards on the board. So I think that would have definitely been better of a play, but it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it. Taps 3 for the blocker. I mean, I'm always going to be on 10 Dawn, so as long as he's on... So he knows he's on 7 Dawn, so he can definitely play it out for the -3 cost in hand. He plays 2 Gordons for the rest of his 2 Dawn, and that is honestly really, really annoying for me, because Gordon, I know what he's trying to do with Gordon. So, yep, very, very annoying. Essentially, very, very annoying. Let's see what we take here. So I take gear 2, and I think the play might be to just swing 6k and then play 9 cost mom and bottom life one of the Gordons, perhaps. I'm not entirely sure what I would have done here. Sorry guys, I'm a little bit tired, hence yawning a little bit. I might cut that out, I don't know yet. But I did just yawn like twice during my recording of this video. So I go quite a bit, and then I play Katakuri, interestingly. I think, yeah, that's definitely very interesting. I'm not sure about that one, because I know what he's going to do. He's going to remove me by KOing Katakuri here. Plays Reiju, which makes a lot of sense because you get a draw 2, and then you can try to find targets to play off your leader effect here. Because he's on 9 Dawn, so you can -3 Dawn, which goes back to 6, but then you can play out... Oh, shit. Okay, he plays out Sanji and Pudding. So that's one of the new cards, EBO2, obviously. So he minuses 2 Dawn, and then, sorry, 3 Dawn, removes my Katakuri, and then he should be able to play another character. He plays Reiju again, draws another 2 cards, and then his effect from Sanji Pudding allows him to get 1 Dawn back. So he had 9 Dawn, -3, +1, so he's back on 7 Dawn. It'll be 9 Dawn next turn again. I have to gum this, even though it's just a 6k swing, because I countered out a little bit too aggressively early game. So yeah, again, I think that is I had to counter out aggressively because I didn't want to show what I had, which I think was a mistake. So if I had taken that first life when he swung 6k with his blocker earlier, I think it would have been better, but it's okay. So yeah, I mean, his board went from having only like one, like nothing, right? Literally nothing, to having four swingable bodies on the board while bottom decking one of my pretty important characters, which is Katakuri. Um, I just don't know what to say. It kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I think playing 9 cost Mom there really would have been better. Not only do I remove one character from the board, but I also get to heal one, which means I'll be a little bit more healthy for the next turn. I'm counting Dawn at the moment. I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. What am I doing here? So I sing a lot of Dawn into probably the blocker here. Yeah, because swinging life he doesn't make any sense. So he gives me 2k something, 2k probably, because otherwise it would go through. I tap 5, play God's Dread, and KO that, and I have 1 Dawn up. Okay. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I could have potentially KO'd 2 characters that turn, right? So I don't think it's that terrible of a play. And I'll have 2 Dawn up, which is what I have right now, to play event counters. So just checking the trash here to see if I have my counter cards, like which event counters I have still to protect my board. Sorry, not my board, but my life. Give another 2k counter. Swings another 6k. Swings another 6k. I can use gear 2 here. And he had a Kidding Killer, so I didn't think about that actually. Plays another Kidding Killer, and then that's just game. Yeah, he played very, very well there, and there just really wasn't much I could do when he removes my characters each turn. Yeah, I mean, I think this matchup is really, really, really difficult because it's much, much, much harder to remove his power minus than, let's say, Lucci, right? Because Lucci has to play characters that have a much higher cost. For example, like full cost Kuzan or full cost Laboon. Even though it has the ability to cost minus and KO, it costs a lot more Dawn to do that sort of effect. Whereas for power minus, it's only 1 Dawn for minus 3k. So all in all, I found it very, very difficult, and that is the deck.